What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to the channel. I appreciate you stopping by, spending a few minutes of your time here with me today. I can remember a point in time when, because of my interest in spirituality and the idea of spiritual awakening, I found it very hard to relate to the average person. You know what I'm saying? It was like, essentially at some point I had been transformed personally from like the inside out, and I could no longer relate to the past version of myself. I was no longer interested in the same things that I was interested in before, and I didn't have any time for small talk. I want to cut straight to the bones of everything. You know what I'm saying? I want to talk about the secrets of the universe and the mysteries of life and death and immortality and all things in between, you know what I mean? But I don't have time for small talk. I don't have time for politics, bro. I don't want to talk about music, celebrities, fashion, TV, none of that. You know what I'm saying? And at one point I was dealing with like a very inflated spiritual ego, you know what I'm saying? And I kind of had to relax a little bit. But over time, I began to feel like the relationship that I have with my higher power, the relationship that I have with God or the universe is very unique to me. You know what I'm saying? Like, I know God, and I'm inclined to say that you also know God. And there's a lot of people out here that don't know God. And that kind of puts you and I in a unique position, because being one who knows God, you can sort of perform introductions for those who don't know God, right? And there are different ways to do this, but this is like the goal, is to introduce people. That's why when we have these realizations and insights and stuff, we go and shout it from the rooftops. We want to tell everybody that we meet that this is what we know. This has been super important and helpful and empowering, and all of this, you know what I'm saying? And so we're trying to introduce them to, aspects of life that are generally unseen, right? But when you try to talk to people about it, they don't want to hear it. You know what I'm saying? Like, they might laugh at you or make jokes, or in my experience, it's like you'll see their eyes just kind of glaze over, and you can tell that they're not really here. They're somewhere else. They're thinking about something else. They'd rather be doing anything else than talking to you about God. You know what I'm saying? And I'll tell you the truth, bro. It's because a lot of these people don't need God. And that might be a little offensive to some of you. Some of you might take offense and say, like, everyone needs God, bro. And I'm sort of in that same boat too. Everyone does need God. But at the same time, not everybody needs God. And what I mean is, like, a lot of the people you'll meet when you're just going about your regular day-to-day business, they don't need God because whatever stage of development they're in, they're just not ready for it. You know what I'm saying? So if you were able to, like, just bring them and introduce them to God kind of thing, it would be too much, or it wouldn't even have an effect at all. Like, if you could just convince one of these people that God is real, and they say, okay, God's real, that won't change anything about their life. They're still in like a shitty position. You understand what I'm saying? It's kind of like taking antidepressants when your life just really sucks. You know what I'm saying? The antidepressants aren't going to fix your life. Your life is still going to suck. You know what I mean? The antidepressants might help you if you are like, if your life is going all right and you're just, you're imbalanced, you're depressed for basically no reason, or it feels like no reason, then the pills might be able to help you a little bit. But the pills can't help you if you're depressed because your life genuinely sucks. You know what I'm saying? So it's the same way with these people. Their life may generally suck. And so introducing them to God isn't going to do anything. It's not going to change anything. In fact, it could make things even worse. You know what I'm saying? And so there are different ways to introduce people, right? There's like a direct way and an indirect way. And either one, it's kind of like interchangeable. But when you talk to somebody, I would consider this sort of an indirect, direct approach. It's indirect for certain reasons. I guess we'll get there in a minute. But it's direct. What I mean when I say it's direct is because you're just saying it. You're just talking about it. You're putting all the cards out on the table. You know what I'm saying? But it's using words, and words are always indirect, right? A picture is worth 1,000 words, okay? Your actions speak louder than your words. You understand what I'm saying? So, a lot of us, we have this problem, right? We try to talk to people, and we don't get anywhere by talking to people. It's like there are certain subjects or certain things that are just best left unsaid or unspoken, okay? So you can't tell everyone everything. You can't talk to everyone about everything. There are certain things you shouldn't share, right? Just because they're unnecessary, right? And they're not going to actually do any good. But just because you can't talk to people doesn't mean you can't be there for people. You understand what I'm saying? Like, when I go out in the world and I interact with people, I notice sort of the same things over and over again. A lot of people are suffering from a lack of self-love. A lot of people are out here suffering from a lack of confidence. They don't have any confidence in themselves. They don't have any confidence in their abilities. You see what I'm saying? A lot of these people are suffering from low self-esteem. A lot of people have never had anyone in their corner truly to support them. A lot of people have never had anyone listen to them. Like, they've been speaking their entire life, but they've never been heard. You understand what I'm saying? There's a lot of people out here that's never been unconditionally loved and accepted. So just because you can't talk to someone doesn't mean you can't love them. And this is a direct route to God or to the universe. You know what I'm saying? For me, it's like I'm like a battery, bro. I'm boosting everybody everywhere I go. I'm trying to give out positive energy. I'm trying to instill in them some confidence. I want people to see themselves how I see them, or how I see myself. You know what I'm saying? And that sort of is like the preparatory stage to meeting God, or to understanding God just a little bit, is, getting right with yourself. You can't be worried about all this extra stuff. You know what I'm saying? Like, you can't be worried about what everyone has to say, or what people are thinking about you, or what everyone says that you should do, or what your life should look like. You know what I'm saying? You have to get to a different place. You have to focus on a foundation of self-love, of self-appreciation. You know what I'm saying? And develop some confidence. And that's what people really need. So with these people, especially it'd be like the people who are the closest to you, right? Like, they will never believe the words that you're saying because they know you, right? They've spent a lot of time around you. And so you may have this realization, and you start talking about the realization, but they ain't never seen it in practice. So they don't care what you have to say, But when you start acting a different way, when you start practicing what you preach, and people can really see that, then they might get a little interested. You know what I'm saying? You might pique their curiosity, or they might start to ask questions on themselves. Or the best thing that can happen is they start to develop some confidence in themselves. You know what I'm saying? And you get to see that happen. You get to see people fall in love with themselves. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, man. Anyway, until next time, I hope you continue to free your